What's up, guys? It's Will here, back again, and today we're here to do something very exciting, and that is to talk about the Hot Toys Wolverine figure hot off the press that has just been announced as of this morning. It's approximately 5:07 a.m. as I'm recording this, but the Deadpool 3, Deadpool and Wolverine figure has been officially announced, and there's two separate versions, a standard version and a deluxe exclusive version, and we need to go over each because they are quite different. Guys, before we get started, make sure to click the like button down below, click the subscribe button, and click the notification bell so you're notified when content goes live on this channel. That said, let's start by addressing what these two figures actually come with, because I think this is very important. I don't have a price as of yet, and there's no official Deadpool announcement as of me recording this video. Wolverine was announced about an hour ago. Like I mentioned, I woke up, I saw this, and I had to make a recording and make a video for you guys. So we're going to start with the deluxe version. Let's at least kind of compare the two differences, right? So the deluxe version, this is something that we theorized for quite a while, whether it was going to have seamless interchangeable arms with sleeved arms that you could swap on, and it actually does. So you do have interchangeable sleeved arms that you can put on if you want the sleeve look for them, or you can have the seamless arms that swap onto the body, as you can see here on the bottom right, which we'll see in some more photos here. You also have a battle damage accessory chest plate that you can swap on if you would like. So it has a clean scratch on there. You can see some paint applications with some dirt and some holes actually where he's actually been shot. So this suit does have some battle damage effects. I'm assuming it's some sort of either magnet underneath on the chest area or some sort of peg where you peg that armor piece on there, it sticks on there, it looks nice, it looks consistent. So I think this is actually really cool. Instead of charging you twice for two separate figures, you have one figure that you can interchange with battle damage accessories, or one battle damage part at least. This is similar to an Iron Man figure where you have interchangeable swappable battle damage parts, instead of giving you a whole different Iron Man figure that you have to then go pay another $300 to $400 for. So I'm a big fan of that. I do think it works pretty well. The fabric material looks a little bit different than previous iterations of Wolverine and previous iterations of characters who wear these type of suits. I think this is going to have a very interesting texture in hand. It has a very sort of scaly look to it. So I'm not sure of the material. I'm wondering if it's maybe similar, maybe possibly, it's all speculation, but to Captain America's suit in Endgame, but I guess we'll see. So beyond that, let's talk about the separate rolling eyeball features. Also really cool. You can adjust the eyeballs. It looks awesome. Guys, just looking at face value at this head sculpt, this looks like a screenshot. This head sculpt is insanely good. This might be the best head sculpt that I've ever seen from a Hot Toys figure. And I don't mean that to be hyperbole or conjecture. Like, this is truly a work of art that looks like a legitimate screenshot of Hugh Jackman. I cannot overstate how good this head sculpt is. It is truly the prototype, a work of art, and I do hope that in the final product that it comes out looking this good, because damn, this thing is incredible. This again, this looks like a screenshot that they took from a movie promotional image. So that head sculpt, yeah, it's sculpted hair, but it looks absolutely incredible. You can see here on the bottom, the claws are attachable. So you have the claws that you sort of attach to the front of the hand there that I think are really cool. And you can have him without the claws if you want him standing there with his claws sort of in his hand. You don't have to worry about that. You can sort of attach them and detach them as you would like. So the iconic Wolverine mask that everyone loves with the iconic blue and yellow and black colors scheme that I think a lot of people are really going to be happy about. You get interchangeable faceplates, so no expense was spared with this figure. I think they gave us quite a bit here. They knew this was going to be a very important figure. This film has a lot of hype surrounding it. It's Hugh Jackman back in the role of Wolverine. So people are very much looking forward to that. So Marvel and Hot Toys both gave us their best here. They said, let's give him these iconic Wolverine colors, give him a color scheme that people are going to recognize, that they're going to love, feel nostalgic for, and that's what they did. And you have three interchangeable faceplates. Pretty typical. You have a stoic one, a sort of half angry, and a full angry one. Really awesome. You can see the color scheme here. There's not too many accessories beyond that. I mean, you have the Wolverine base here. No big diorama base for this one for either version, but you do have the standard Wolverine Deadpool 3 base, which I do think works pretty well. You got some hands there that you can adjust on the body and stuff like that. So let's look at the standard version, and I do want to preface this, I don't know the price yet because Hong Kong Hot Toys secret base has not posted their Hong Kong dollars price yet, so I can't do a conversion yet. But let's talk about the deluxe version, or standard version rather. Guys, to me, just looking at the standard version, to me, this is a very much a deluxe or bust type of figure. Not that you're not going to get a good figure if you buy the standard version, but just look at everything you're missing out on. You're missing out on the interchangeable sleeved arms. That's kind of important. So if you want a Wolverine that is with a seamless body with the arms, and you just want that, that's fine. But to have the sleeved option look, I think that would be a nice alternative should you want to change it out every so often. And say something goes wrong with the silicone arms at some point, which these are silicone arms, by the way. Say something goes wrong and there's some tearing at some point. What do? You could maybe find a replacement set, maybe, and from another brand. But with this case, with the deluxe, you can simply swap on the sleeved arms and you're good to go. You have a, you don't have a seamless set, but you have a sleeved arm set and the figure is still intact and looks good. So you have the interchangeable faceplates, you have the attachable claws and the hands. It's a very bare bones figure, right? You get the same base regardless of which version you're going to go with, but you don't get the Hugh Jackman head sculpt. You don't get that 10 out of 10 Hugh Jackman head sculpt that you might want to put on there. If you really want more of like a comic Wolverine, then sure, you can absolutely get this and throw it on there. You have to also think, what does this do for the Hono Studios Wolverine? Again, I understand they're different. One is purely comic and one obviously is fit for the screen, but at the same time, like, it's a very similar type of look, and I do think this figure is superior. You could very much take this figure from Deadpool 3, Hugh Jackman Wolverine, and say it's a comic Wolverine. You could feasibly get away with that. But to me, the standard version, it's deluxe or bust here, guys. I got to go with the deluxe myself. I'm going to pick up the deluxe version. The Hugh Jackman head sculpt is too good to not use. I do hope, again, it comes out looking that good. But, let's kind of see how that turns out. So I'm going to go actually shift back to the deluxe version here. And we're going to start sorting through some of these photos. Again, I don't know price yet, but we're going to figure that out relatively soon. But again, guys, look at the quality of the seamless arms here. The seamless arms look fantastic. You have a silicone material that they're using here to make these seamless. And I do think there's a lot of, I think, flexibility. I do think there's going to be some strength here that, is consistent with most other releases out there. If you've owned Game Toys figures, those figures hold up pretty well. Again, you would not want to leave these pose in a bent pose. Leave them in a pose like this long term. I do not advise it. I do not recommend it. If you want to do it, snap a couple photos, maybe do it relatively quickly, fine, but do not leave this guy's arms bent in perpetuity long term, because you will regret it and they will tear and you're going to be very upset. So this is a great pose. Again, this is another type of photo type of pose. You wouldn't want to do this long term, but guys, this figure looks so good. I can't overstate that enough, how good this head sculpt looks. It is truly a 10 out of 10 head sculpt and one of the best Hot Toys prototypes I've ever seen. It legitimately looks like a screenshot. There's been some really good Hugh Jackman head sculpts over the years from Hot Toys. This one most certainly takes the cake. I'm just at a loss for words for it. It is truly remarkable. The team at Hot Toys has done an amazing job here, and this is tough because both of these looks look fantastic. I assume most people are probably going to use the Wolverine head sculpt because people have been so hungry for a comic accurate Wolverine like this with this color scheme. So at the end of the day, I do think people might end up using that, but to have that Hugh Jackman head sculpt in the box is a shame. So maybe people will. One thing you could do if you really love this character, maybe you pick up two. Maybe you pick up one standard version to display the Wolverine that you always wanted, and you pick up a deluxe version to display the Hugh Jackman you always wanted. And that could be a win, but that's going to be pretty pricey. That's going to be $500-$600 out the door, right? So something to think about. This looks great, though. The base is simplistic, but I'm honestly fine with that. I don't think we need a huge diorama base for this one. We haven't seen the film yet, so it's hard to say definitively, but space can be tight these days. So we have so many artisan figures dropping and so many in arts and with these big bases. And, sometimes it's good to have a figure that doesn't have a super obtrusive base that requires a lot of space. So I'm happy with this. I think that should be fine. So again, head sculpt looks phenomenal. I love the Wolverine here that you can, again, detach the claws and give him just a simple unclawed, declawed look if you want to do that. But if you want him in something more dynamic, you could absolutely do that. I do think this fabric seems like it's going to be pretty durable. I think you can probably pose this guy pretty effectively and be fine. Beyond the arms. The arms are going to be the important part here that really make or break your experience long term. So I guess we're going to see how that turns out. But again, there's a lot of flexibility you can see in articulation that you can see here for this figure, which I think is pretty remarkable. Again, the Hugh Jackman head sculpt is out of this world good. You could do so much with it. It's hard to say. I have nothing to go off of in terms of price, but I'm going to speculate that this figure probably costs somewhere around $340, something like that, because when you have seamless arms, I do think the price goes up a little bit higher. And generally I try to overestimate, so it could come in lower than that because we don't have a big diorama base, no LED light up function, whatever. So it could come in a little bit lower than that, but I guess we're gonna see when the price drops later today. Let's look at just the standard edition one more time, just to kind of go through what this entails. Again, this is the bare bones Wolverine. This is more Wolverine than it is Hugh Jackman. So you do have the two distinct options there. To me, it's deluxe or bust, unless you're buying two, where if you're buying the second one and you just want a Wolverine for that one, cool. But that's the iconic pose right there, right? That's the look. That's the look that a lot of people are going to be going for. Again, I would be careful with those elbows. You could get some tearing if you leave it like that too long, but to snap some photos, I think you could pull it off. The interchangeable faceplates, great touch. Anything with a cowl or a helmet nowadays, or a cowl typically, like anything with a half helmet basically, I do think that a faceplate is probably going to be interchangeable if the character is the right character, and this certainly is the right character. So man, I love this. I absolutely love this. I think people are going to go absolutely crazy for this one. So when you wake up and you see this video, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I really would love to hear it. It's so good. It's so good. This is definitely one of the best Hot Toys announcements I've seen in quite a while. I'm not even the biggest Wolverine guy. Like, I love Wolverine. I think he's great, but he's not like one of my top favorite characters or anything. But I'm a huge fan of Hugh Jackman just as an actor, and I think he's brought amazing things to the character of Wolverine. I'm excited to see what he brings to Deadpool 3. I think we can have a very good dynamic between he and Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool 3, and I'm very keen on seeing that. So same base for this one, as I mentioned. You're just missing the interchangeable sleeveless arms, and you're missing the Hugh Jackman head sculpt. So if you can live without that, then if the price is right, sure, pick up this Wolverine if that's all you care about. But to me, it's deluxe or bust. You're gonna want that Hugh Jackman head sculpt, and you're gonna want those sleeved swappable arms, in my opinion. So guys, I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Let me know what you're thinking about these two versions of this figure. I'm assuming Deadpool will be announced. It could even be announced today, and it's probably going to be announced the second I put this video up, but it hasn't been announced as of this recording, so I'm going to go ahead and get this one online for you guys. Guys, make sure to click the like button, subscribe down below, and click the notification bell so you're notified when content goes live on this channel. I just posted a Strangers video where I took InArt collectibles Batman and Hot Toys Batman out into the streets and got some interviews and got people to decide and talk about the differences and which one is better. So check that out. It's on the channel. Guys, I'll check you out in the next video. Thank you so much. Peace out. See you later. Bye.